I'm Di.
And I'm Robin. Good morning, people. We are happy to be back with our morning show once again.
It is so good to be back. It's been a minute.
It has been just a tad bit. But we promise not to take up too much of your time. We're only going to do this probably about 15-20 minutes a day, Tuesday through Friday, because Robin's not a morning person. So Mondays, I don't do Mondays. It's that old Garfield thing.
So at any rate, we are going to be talking about a lot of things while we do this talk show. But I wanted to tell you, we are not financial advisors. We are not. We can't tell you how to do your credit. We are not therapists.
We're not telling you.
So anything we talk about, we don't want you to leave your husband or your wife or, do anything like that.
Yeah, we're not.
We're just two people just talking to you real talk.
That's it. We're just telling you how we feel and voicing our opinion, trying to stay away from religion and politics. But we do realize that we have a wide marketing audience here. We do understand that a lot of our people who are on our website or on our Facebook are team builders and they're into different opportunities. So sometimes our content may be geared a little more towards team building. It might be geared a little more towards marketing. But all in all, we've tried to make it to where it's for everybody.
Yes.
And so in the beginning, we decided that what we needed to do is to really do some key points that we think people should take with them every day, that they were kind of hard lessons for us to learn.
Oh, yeah, 6 years of this. But in all seriousness, we're going to do some real talk about a lot of everyday stuff throughout our program. And if you're up to it, go ahead and listen.
That's it. So we have our morning quote. We're going to start off every day with a morning quote. So what's that, Di? Don't let negative people rent space in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Raise the rent and kick them out. I mean, that was by Robert, too. And so I just want to make sure that you understand this is what we're going to be talking about this morning because we think it's so important for people to understand identifying toxic people.
How many of you have, you have toxic people in your life? All right. Again, we're not therapists, but everybody has some toxic person that, they're either in the background of your family or right there out front. Or
they're on your team.
Or you have them on your team because most of us, like Robin said, do marketing. And you do have toxic people on your team. So what we want to do is talk about identifying those types of toxic people.
Yeah, especially in the marketing aspect of it. When you're building a team and everything, you really want to vet people. You don't want to just. Everybody makes that mistake. In the beginning, when we started marketing, it was like, oh, just everybody come along, come join us. This is great. Turned out not to be so great because you're dealing with all different types of personalities and different types of people. And, it's that old saying that you put a piece of rotten fruit in a basket and eventually all the rest of the fruit become rotten too. So
that's very nice.
Yeah, well, I'm just keeping it real. So we decided that it's probably good if everybody just identifies the 6 types of toxic people.
All right, the first one is Robin's favorite. It's the energy drainer.
Oh my God. Listen, I didn't even think this was possible. I honestly did not even think it was possible. And we had one team member one time that joined us. And, I'm all about helping people. So when it comes to technical stuff or whatever, I'm constantly trying to help people. But so we got this person reached out to us and wanted to join us. And we were like, okay, no problem. We'll help you, And I don't think I have ever met anybody in my life that just sucked the life out of me before I ever got. I didn't even think that was possible, but it is true, people. There are people out there who can just drain you to the point that
you can actually feel the energy leave your body.
You really could. And I told Di, I was like, I just want to give this woman her money and tell her, that she needs to find somebody else to join. And I know that sounds really mean, but it was just like everything was so negative and draining. And it was like, every time I tried to give her hope, there was no hope.
It was beyond draining. It was like you're standing there talking to somebody at their cemetery plot.
It was crazy.
It was very, very bad.
It's insane.
But
So be aware of people who drain your energy.
Yeah, you know, when you're talking to people, whether it's family or whether it's business, but we mostly talk business because that's what we do. But just vet your people that you want to have on your team. When we first started, it was like, oh, we just got to get people on our team. So you go and you talk to people and you just get them on your team, but you have no idea what they're like. You have no idea what their work ethic is, nothing. So you're just sitting there. And then as you go along, then you find out their personalities, and they will drain your entire team if you have a team meeting.
Yeah, and people just in general, you know, you want to stay away from toxic people and negative people that drain you. I mean, you know, we've all got one life to live, and we might as well live it to the fullest. And when you surround yourself with negativity, it's difficult. I'm a person that loves to laugh, and I'm very laid back, and I don't let a whole lot rattle me. So you know, it's easy for me to get myself around in my environment of people who are draining, because it's just, they're not just as happy as I am, I guess.
You know what it's like when you're like me? I like to joke and laugh and just be, you know, just a normal everyday person when we're talking to people. And when you say something, whether it's sarcastic, because I can be sarcastic at times, but it's not meant to hurt anybody. But if you tell someone something and it's funny and everybody else is laughing and you got that one person going, what?
Well, maybe they just didn't get it.
But you know, no matter what you say, they're going to do that. So just be careful. You know, you want to vet your people.
Yeah, and number two, one of the things is, and this is very hard for me because I'm a very trusting individual, so this is very hard for me, but you want to be aware of the fake person, the fake complimenter, the one that basically says, oh, you're so wonderful, and everything's great, and I'm just so happy, but then at the same time they say, all my sponsors or all my other friends, you know, just were not good, and they weren't as good as you, and they did this and they did that. Anybody that's going to constantly complain to you about people in their past or people, you know, that they had on their team, or they're going to complain about you too. So make sure you understand and you're aware that, you know, these are typically people who, in the marketing sense, I'm going to say, go from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, never really getting involved in any one particular thing. You know, they're just faking their way through it because they're looking for something to get.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is the best company I've ever been in. What have you been in before? Well, how long have you been in it? Well, I only stayed, that one was 3 weeks and I didn't get anything. But you guys, you make me want to do it. And they're constantly complimenting you and telling you how wonderful it's going to be on your team. So be careful of those with the fake compliments.
The ones that put other people down, understand that they'll eventually put you down too. So there's that. Okay, go on to number 3.
Number 3 is the pessimist, and we love those. The pessimist, that's the one that always talks down to people, right? Right?
Yeah, and you know, this is another one that's kind of hard because sometimes people get stressed. I do a lot of self-evaluating, and so for those who know me know that, but sometimes you can get stressed, and this happened to me one time. I got really stressed out at a job, and I was really, really burnt out, and an employee came in, and I just, you know, like snapped, and Di just happened to be sitting in my office at the time, and she was like,
I remembered it as she just said it.
She was like, oh my God. You know, how cruel or whatever. And I don't think I even realized that was probably my personality type under that kind of stress. So just be mindful of that. Sometimes when this happens, it's not necessarily the person itself as it is the environment that they're in. But look for the people who are just constantly, even though you try to be positive and outgoing, they're just constantly negative and constantly have, you know, a bad outlook.
I would say don't let anyone, the pessimist will try and talk you out of your dreams.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you have a dream, they're the type that are going to come in and go, oh, no, that's not going to work for you, you know, or seriously, are you going to try that? And they're constantly like doing that to you. So it's like, that goes right into another category. It happens to be our next one, which is called the criticizer. So they're always going to put you down and tell you can't do it, or you're too old, or all these things, and they've never done it themselves, right?
Well, and then I think that's another thing that we really need to pay attention to that we don't so much in life because we just get busy doing. But I think the people that we surround ourselves, there's that saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to get a new room, And I agree with that. I totally agree with that. First of all, nobody wants to be the smartest person in the room, right? Because you want to constantly be growing and learning. And so, at least for me anyway, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. But I want to constantly be moving forward and progressing and learning more stuff. So you want to surround yourself with the people who are where you want to be, and that's just in life. That's not necessarily in marketing. I mean, that's in life. You want to, there's qualities in people and things that you see in others that you want to, adapt. You want to take on for yourself. You want to become. And so you want to surround yourself with those people. I mean, we surround ourselves with a great deal of leaders and people we can learn from. And we're constantly...
absolutely. That is the best thing you can do, is if you find someone that is like the best person why would you not emulate that person?
Exactly.
Instead of listening to people, and I've done it 1,000 times. I've let other people influence me that have never done anything or never tried anything in their life, that never been successful, but they're in your ear all the time. So a lot of times, seriously, I will go on Zooms all day long if I have to listen to positive people and get that other crap out of my ears. Because if you do that long enough, your moods and your thoughts and all that stuff, it kind of creates the personality that you have. And if you're constantly listening to pessimistic people, negative people, people who put you down, people who say you can't, all those people, that's going to take you over, per se. So we want to make sure we want to make sure that, especially if you're into marketing and you're joining a team, make sure the team fits you as well.
Yes, don't just hop on any team. Don't just decide you want to just join any group. Make sure that you fit in where you're going to learn and you're going to grow mentally, emotionally. It's more than just a financial situation when you're talking about building teams. So there's that. Just
I
make
can
sure
never
you
be
have
on
high
a team.
energy.
Can you imagine me on a team where everyone's just nobody ever laughs? Or, oh my God, I would lose it. I have to have entertainment at the same time, and we listen to, I can call them our mentors. They make us laugh.
Yeah, now I just want to make sure I point this out, okay? I'm just going to say this for your own mental health.
For their own mental
health. And I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I've had lots of years of therapy, so I'm pretty good at this. I think that you should not idolize the people that are your mentors, but you should grow and learn from them, because truthfully, the goal here is, everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. So, there is that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think you should maybe put people up on a pedestal because they're normal.
Well, I kind of do because I want to be where they are. So
you can learn from them and grow, but you don't have these unrealistic expectations of them. And I think that's what happens when people idolize people. They, put them up on this pedestal and instead of just realizing
and then
that
they
they're
get
real
lost
people.
in that person.
Yeah, and instead of focusing on themselves and growing and learning and trying to become what it is that they're looking to become. Because I think people can grow every day.
But when you are vetting your team or even people you want to follow, make sure that you can learn from them. Make sure that they're the kind of person that's going to help you. Because you can get on a team, and just never be helped at all. That's actually what happened to us at one time. We didn't really get much help at all. And we ended up leaving a really good company because of it.
Well,
but then we came back.
Yeah, not only that, but you learn as you go, right? So you you do things differently as you grow and progress. I don't know why they did that, but so anyhow, so we're gonna wrap this up a little bit because I promise not to take up too much of everybody's time. But we have the criticizer who is just gonna constantly put you down and criticize everything that you do because they are insecure and probably can't get it accomplished themselves. So there's the criticizer.
Okay, and then we have the manipulator. Oh, we all love them.
You know, this is such a narcissistic thing. It really is. You know, I mean, listen, I'm going to say this. We think that we can spot them. And Di and I have enough experience because I'm telling you, that used to be all we attracted, you know, was narcissistic people, really.
We don't know why.
No, there was a neon sign, I think, that said, we'll help you. Come on over.
That's just it. We do. We put ourselves out there to help people, and then it turns around somehow that we're trying to help them, and then they want us to do it, and then they're manipulating the whole situation and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the ones that I love the most are the ones that come on a team call and someone else is teaching the call, and the next thing you know, they take over and they start acting like they know everything, and it just like, oh man, it just puts such a damper on the whole thing.
Yeah, don't mistake this with that A personality type kind of thing, though, because, you know, there are some people that are just controlling in their own right? Like, I'm a controlling, you know, no, I mean, seriously, I'm trying to think, because I put myself in everybody else's shoes. I like to control what I'm responsible for. I'll say that. I like to control what I'm responsible for. If I'm responsible for getting a project or getting something done, then I'm going to do it because, you know, not to sound bad, but I probably feel like I do it better.
You control what you know. It's like when I was doing music and I was writing a song per se, and there was somebody else helping me or something. It was like, I wasn't a control freak, but if it didn't sound exactly right to me, then it was like, oh no, we're not going to do it that way. You know, so you don't mean to be controlling at times, but there are those who just take over a room and don't let you talk. Oh my God, remember that one person did not let us say a word, just took over the entire conversation, and every time you even went to talk, they were like, blah, 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 blah.
Well, and the weird part about that is these people reach out to you, you know? They reach out to you. And they want to join you, and they want to be, you know, a part of your team, but they want to take over your team. They want to take over
everything.
your business, everything. So don't let people manipulate you, you know.
And don't let them manipulate you out of your business either.
Yeah, because
it all goes back to that putting you down and stuff. Like, that's a big thing. When people can influence other people who just have a dream and want to be like so many other people.
I say you got 24 hours of your life to live. Just live it. You know, if you want to make the dream happen, make the dream happen.
Go out and have fun.
You know how many people die and don't do their dreams? You know?
Oh, yeah. There's so many people that they go to the grave with their dreams still inside. So we don't want that to happen to you, but...
So on that Debbie Downer note, we want number 6... are the people who constantly are victimized. Everything is somebody else's problem, and it has been done unto them. And because everybody has treated them so poorly and bad and horrible, all these things have happened in their life.
But that's also where they say, oh my God, that company was so bad. That's another one of those. That company was horrible. I couldn't learn anything. I couldn't do it. Well, did you read the rules? Did you read the directions?
I'm gonna say,
like whatever.
I'm gonna say this about that, and I think Di will agree with me on this. We have been in a few companies, you know. Some we have lost money in. Not like some people, you know, because that just is at your own risk level. But the thing about it is I don't think we've ever joined a company that we did not get something out of it.
Always.
You know, so I think it's also in how you look at things. We joined this one company we were with for several years. And, I mean, I spent a lot of money promoting this thing. And because I'm a promo host, so I buy a lot of, you know, stuff like that to promote us. But I don't think we ever really made any money. I don't think we really lost any money.
No, but you can learn
But
some good stuff.
The people that we met through that company, brought us into other companies that made us a lot of money. So, I mean, it's all in how you look at things, I think. You're where you're at for a reason.
Yeah.
So you might as well take from it whatever you can take.
But the worst thing I think that you could do is if you're one of those people and you go to other people, even if you've never been in the company, you're telling people how bad it is because they heard rumors or they heard this or they heard that. And they're out there spreading horrible stuff about it. And they don't even know, all right? It's just like,
Listen,
that is so not cool.
The thing about it is you have to realize this, and it's hard because I'm a really trusting person, and I know Di is too. And so, but we're wiser, older and wiser,
Older.
Older.
Emphasis on older.
Yeah, older and wiser. But there are people out there, and in case you don't know this, I'm just going to go ahead and make this news flash right now. There are people out there who get paid to put down other people's stuff.
That is true.
They get paid to literally talk down about you or your company or whatever the case may be, which is horrible to think that our society has gotten to that point that people will generate money off of being negative. But nevertheless, so you have to be mindful of that when you're Google searching, Be mindful of the fact that there are people out there who literally get paid. And there's so many scam artists out there nowadays that it's like they prey on people who have been injured, in other. I'm just using the marketing aspect because everybody on this page, probably the majority of them are marketers. But so there's people that just prey on people who have lost money and other opportunities, or
they'll come on and they'll tell you. That you'll see these things that you start getting where people say, "Oh, I can get your money back for you if you've lost money."
Yeah.
Don't fall for that because those are just scam artists who are going to take money from you or get your email or get anything they can from you. So you need to vet. So the only thing we just came on here, we wanted to talk about who to look for and who not to look for, basically. You don't want to be involved with toxic people, even at home. But that's a whole nother subject.
We could go on for hours about that kind of stuff.
We're not therapists, and we don't want to tell you.
But I'll give you my opinion.
Oh boy, Robin will definitely give you her opinion.
But no, seriously, we just kind of want that. We're starting out. You will see this will all come together. You will eventually see why we're doing what we're doing and why we're using the topics that we're using.
Yeah.
So because we want you to understand the foundation of what we're trying to do, and it will all come together pretty soon.
And we want you to be on. We want you to be on a good team if you so decide to do marketing and stuff. And we want you to vet the people that you join with. And we just want you to have such a good experience going through your journey. And at home, too. We don't want you to be at home in this horrible situation. And yes, I know, that's why I said it's a whole nother thing. It's hard to get away from stuff like that. But if someone's treating you horribly, you got to rethink of what you're doing. And stop saying I can't. Because if you're in the same place, even in business, if you're in the same place you were a year ago, or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and you're still doing the same things, if you do nothing, nothing will ever change. And I know that's not my quote, but it is a true fact. It's a true fact.
It is. It is a true fact. So what we wanted to do also, at the end of every little talk show, we want to make sure that we educate you. Hopefully we educated you on finding the right people to associate yourself with. But we wanted to provide you with a little useless knowledge. And so I'm going to let Di do that for you today.
I think you should do it because I cannot see what you wrote.
Well, it's, first of all, I was trying to figure out what was the first loyalty program. We talk about...
like rewards.
The rewards program. So you talk about American Airlines came out, I think it was in 81 or something. They came out with, the frequent flyer kind of thing, and it was a craze that kind of took off. But I was thinking, because when I was researching this and found out that it actually started out in, I think that's actually wrong. But what they did, yeah, I did. I actually
She
typed
wrote
that in
it.
correctly. It actually started out where they gave out copper tokens. So that was the first loyalty program that came out. I actually typed the year wrong there, so I'll have to.
Yeah, it was like in 1800s.
Yeah, it was like
something.
1871.
Robin wrote 1973, but it was really 1800
I
and
did.
something when they
Yeah.
had the first rewards program.
Yeah,
per
it was
se.
18. I think it was 1871. Don't quote me on that because I wrote the wrong thing down. I must have been thinking about something else. But so anyhow, so they used to give out these copper tokens, and what made me
And
think
that
about
started in New Hampshire, by the way. A local merchant did it.
yes, it did. But what made me think of it is I can remember as a kid, and maybe I'm dating myself. I probably am dating myself a little bit. My grandmother used to go to the grocery store, and they'd give her these stamps.
Oh,
And
I remember that.
It was
That
almost like a bingo card.
S&H stamps, I think it
Yeah,
was
an A and
called.
G.
I'm dating myself, but I was little, and I know my aunts used to do that all
Yeah.
the time. But it worked well. People wanted to get those stamps, so
Yeah, so that's so there you go. That's the beginning of the loyalty rewards program for people.
way
back
back.
back in the day.
But at any rate, we're going to come on every day, Tuesday through Friday, and then
Yes.
Saturday we always have a little surprise in store for you. So we
Yes.
will be on Saturdays, but it won't be the same format.
Yes, it'll be a Zoom, and you can join us on our Zoom. And just so you know, just kind of a little tip, every day is going to lead up to Saturday, so it'll be
Yeah.
really fun.
But we wanted to come on and kind of let you guys get to know us and just have a little fun, and that's it.
So for now, tomorrow we are doing Why
Why.
Wednesday. Why Wednesday? That was good.
We're going to talk about tomorrow. Know your why.
Know your
And by
why.
the way, that's very, very important no matter what you're doing in life.
Yes, it's very good. We took a course from Tony Robbins, and so we're going to share a little bit of what we learned from that. And so we'll keep it a little shorter next time. But
So that's it for today. I'm Di.
and I'm Robin, and we hope you have a fabulous day.
Well, there is one last thing. When you're in a world that has gone completely mad, and you can be anything or do anything, make sure you go out and you be kind.
Be kind.
See you later.